Hey guys, welcome to IT Twist. My name is Gaurav. In the previous video, we have learned about various methods like class methods, instance methods, and static methods. In this video, we will go through an working example of this. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button in order to get notified about latest programming tutorials and technology updates. Let's get started. Let's take an example of subscriber of online movie platform. Let's create a class of subscriber. So class subscriber, and after that we will declare a class variable type, which is of type tuple and which contains value like say ordinary and prime. We have seen in previous videos, we declare class variable as it can be directly accessible by class name. Particularly, it makes sense for this variable to reside in a particular class. If I go ahead and will write say subscriber dot type 0, and let me add a print statement here. When I will go ahead and run this particular program, Python method example.py, you will get ordinary. Now let's create an initialization method, which is def underscore init. Let's have some parameters like self needed for the instance methods as we saw in the previous video. And let's have some parameters like name, user underscore ID, user underscore ID, and subscriber underscore type. We will go ahead and write self.name is equal to name and self dot user underscore id equal to user underscore id. Self dot subscriber underscore type is equal to subscriber underscore type. As we learned in the previous video, basically if we create an object, this is the method which will be fired and initialize our instance variables like self.name, self.userid, self.subscriberType. Let's create an object, say user1, which is equal to subscriber, and we will pass on the parameters here like name, say Gaurav, and user ID say 1, and subscriber type say gold. So if we create a particular object, this particular init method will get fired and this instance methods get created. So this self.name, which is corresponding to this user1.name equal to Gaurav, and user1.userid equal to 1, and user1.subscriberType, which is equal to gold. Now if I will go ahead and write print user1 dot say name, and when I will go ahead and run python methods.py, you will see ordinary and you will see this particular print statement is returning Gaurav. Now if you see, I'm hard coding the subscriber type here as gold. So what if we have one use case, we need always a subscriber type have a value of ordinary or prime that we have declared in this particular type. That's where our class methods will come into play. Using that, we will create a factories. Let's create two class methods, one for ordinary subscriber and one for prime subscriber. So we will go ahead and create two methods. So in order to create class methods, we use a decorator, which is @class method, and after that we will just create a particular method, and let's name it ordinary underscore subscriber. So we will pass parameters as CLS, so CLS is needed by convention, and after that we will pass this name parameter and user underscore ID except subscriber underscore type, and let's go forward. So what this particular class method will do, it will return a particular object. In order to create object, we used to create an object by this particular class name, and in brackets we used to pass this information. So name will be say this name which we are passing here, and user ID will be user ID which we are passing here. and subscriber type, we can access it via our class variable type, and so it will be subscriber.type 0. So similarly, we will create another class method. So in order to create class methods, we used to create it by this particular decorator. So inside that, we will create this particular method, which will be prime underscore subscriber. This will be also like ordinary subscriber only, just we need to pass some of the parameters like CLS here and name and user underscore ID, and we need to return an object. So in order to create object, we used to write subscriber, and inside that we will pass name, which we are passing here, and user underscore ID, and subscriber dot type, which will be 1 in case of prime. So I know this will sound little bit confusing to you, but if you see this particular thing really carefully, you will see this particular ordinary subscriber is doing nothing but returning a particular object. Let's create a particular variable ordinary. We will just call our class method ordinary subscriber, which will therefore will return an object will get assigned to our variable ordinary. So I'm just accessing this particular ordinary subscriber via class name. So subscriber dot ordinary subscriber. So inside that we need to pass some arguments, which is name and user ID. We will just say Gaurav, and after that we will say user ID of 1. So what it will do, it will just create an object, and by creating object, this particular object will be assigned to this particular variable. So if I will go ahead and print ordinary dot name, and similarly if I will write print ordinary dot user ID and print ordinary dot subscriber underscore type, if I will go ahead and run Python methods example.py, you will get Gaurav 1 and ordinary. So similarly, if we want to create a prime member, so let me copy this code and paste it down here, and we will just write this prime subscriber, and let's say John a name and user ID as 2, and this will be a prime member. So let me edit it, say prime. So if I will go ahead and run Python methods example.py, you will get Gaurav 1 ordinary, and for prime you will get John 2 prime. So if you see in the class methods, I am writing subscriber.type 0 and subscriber.type 1. So it's not an issue, but you can further improvise it by writing this cls.type 0 and cls.type 1. You can write subscriber.type 0 and subscriber.type 1 also, but in Python we have something called inheritance, which we will see in the upcoming videos. It is recommended to use CLS while using inheritance. Just keep that in your mind. I'm sure you are now comfortable with different methods, especially class methods. If you have any queries, please drop a comment below. See you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.